a minute, Chris Bosh to the Windy City? What's going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NBA rumors, and this rumor seems to have been like pulled out of thin air because it really came out of nowhere, but it is being reported now, and it was first reported by Mark Stein of ESPN, who said that the Bulls are interested in pursuing Chris Bosh if and when Miami waives him, and it's more a matter of when, not if, because he's not going to have a future with the Heat. But potentially March 1st is when the Heat will waive Chris Bosh, because Pat Riley has talked about how he doesn't think Chris Bosh has a future with the Heat because of his playing career in jeopardy. And so after that, if he is waived by March 1st, that means he will be ineligible to play for any team that makes the playoffs. And so the Bulls would be interested in signing him. But again, a lot of layers here. Where did this report come from? Why is this report coming out? And what is the sort of reasoning behind it? Okay, the reason this report came out and the reason the Bulls are considering signing Chris Bosh is because of two players, Dwayne Wade and then Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler has been in trade rumors all season long, even though he is an all-star starter now and has been one of the best players, not just in the entire East, but in the entire NBA. So even still, the Bulls have shopped Jimmy Butler reportedly, and because of that, word has obviously gotten around to Dwayne Wade, and a lot of people have been asking Wade, who's got a player option in year 2 of his deal with the Bulls, meaning he can leave after this season, if he would stay if Jimmy Butler was to, say, traded. And Dwayne Wade basically said, you know what, I would be lying if I said I wanted to play with a bunch of 21-year-olds. AKA, no, he does not want to rebuild, and no, he will not stay if Jimmy Butler leaves. So that would be, I guess, a blow to the Bulls in the sense that, and I'm talking about the front office here with Gar Paxson and John Foreman. If they trade away Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade will walk, and then obviously they're going to have to full-on rebuild, which they should have done already. But with that being said, that's another story for another day. So that would basically be the situation, is if they traded Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade is going to walk. So Bulls management is thinking if they decide to keep their current core and keep Jimmy Butler, which I think they should, that means Dwayne Wade will stay. That means they're going to add more veteran pieces. Look, you can't get younger with these two guys, so you have to bring in more veteran pieces, and that's where Chris Bosh comes in. Now, Chris Bosh, everybody knows he's probably a future Hall of Fame player. He is a 2-time champion, and he's a multiple-time All-Star. Heck of a player. But this situation with his health is nothing to joke at. It is extremely serious, and I have serious doubts if he will ever play basketball ever again. So the doctors have not been able to clear Chris Bosh from his medical condition, and everybody knows that the blood clots issue that he is experiencing, if that issue is not cleared by doctors, he will never play regardless of what team is interested in him. So do I see a path for Chris Bosh to get back to the NBA? Sure I do, but the doctors have to clear him first, and if the doctors aren't clearing him enough for him to come back to Miami, I have a hard time believing that the doctors would clear him enough for him to play anywhere else. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Pat Riley would have had to exhaust every option for Chris Bosh to return to the Heat, and for him to get to the conclusion that no, he probably will not play again, so I have to waive him or let him go. That probably means Chris Bosh is not playing again. Look, I don't think Chris Bosh will make a return anytime soon, but let's assume I am wrong and Chris Bosh gets cleared by doctors. So Miami waives him and he gets cleared by doctors. I do think the Bulls would pursue him, and he would be interested in playing for the Bulls. At this point, he's interested in playing for anybody, as long as the doctors clear him, because he just wants to get back. He has reiterated he does not want to retire. Then you have Chris Bosh, a post presence down low, and assuming he's still the same player, you know, that would be a significant upgrade over somebody like Taj Gibson. They would obviously trade Taj Gibson, I believe, and then you would have Jimmy, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Robin Lopez. And don't be surprised if the Bulls in free agency, if they get Chris Bosh, to go after Chris Paul. So that would be a selling point for Chris Paul after the Clippers experiment seems to have blown up in his face, and now he's out with injury. Blake Griffin's been out, and I don't think the Clippers are winning a title anytime soon. They will probably pursue Chris Paul or a top-tier point guard to play alongside their veterans, and now you would have basically a team of, yeah, I know past their prime all-stars, but it's still legitimate. I think they would still be somewhat of a threat. I don't think they would be as good as Cleveland, obviously, but very intriguing if nothing else, because at this point, if the Bulls are going to go after Chris Bosh, then I think they've decided they're not going to rebuild. They're going to have Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler here, at least keep D Wade around for the rest of his career. And so then you would have a scenario with Chris Bosh, with Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler, and Chris Paul. So something to think about, because if they go the route of Chris Bosh, then they will pursue other veteran pieces. That is just what I think. But like I said, I have a hard time believing Chris Bosh will get cleared by doctors, so I don't expect this to happen anytime soon. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Chris Bosh to the Bulls is going to happen or not? And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.